All right, hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahakadash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to you, sincere. I came out there pushing the truth across the four corners of earth. All right, I'm the brother Shaman from Great Millstone, St. Louis. Back at it again. Hey, just trying to bring out edification according to the scriptures, all right, which, hey, we're in a time where you got so much stuff going on. You know, you definitely got to be focused in on the word of the Lord and on the prophecies and on everything that's going on. In this particular one, though, and this is actually Esau telling the truth. All right, I'm going to just read a little bit through it. It says, Atlanta megachurch pastor Louis Giglio set off a firestorm this week when he suggested during a recorded event at his church that the phrase white privilege could be replaced with the phrase white blessing. Many white pastors have been addressing racism in the past few weeks since the outbreak of widespread protests across the country. At Passion City Church, Giglio described slavery as a blessing after talking about the blessing of the cross on which Jesus died. We understand the curse that was slavery, white people go, Giglio said during the conversation. And we say that that was bad, but we missed the blessing of slavery, that it actually built up the framework for the world that white people live in, and it actually did. Giglio's comments became a trending topic on Twitter on Tuesday as people objected to slavery being described as a blessing and to his implication that the concept of white privilege, a term that refers to the advantages white people enjoy in a racist society, could be equated with a gift from God. It's a bad theology that has existed since the beginning of the slave trade, says Anthea Butler, a professor of religious studies at the University of Pennsylvania, who is working on a book on white evangelical racism. Giglio said what was true to him and what's true to a lot of evangelicals, but it doesn't make it right. Right. And Giglio tweeted that he was not seeking to refer to slavery as a blessing, but we are privileged because of the curse of slavery. And you know, when you get into that against the nations of Jacob and Esau, one nation's curse, you know, which the curse was our people had to go into captivity, as prophesied in the scriptures, was the blessing of the other nation. It was a blessing toward the nation of Esau, just like he said. It became the framework for America. All right, it's the thing that made this place great. And that's all part of prophecy. Deuteronomy 28:68 said, "What? The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt," it's talking about the Israelites, "into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." Exactly. So basically, in the latter days, in the end of the world, Jake is going to be in Egypt again. All right, as under captivity. All right, look where we're at. It's clear that this place is Egypt. All right, from all of the references, all the statues, all the different monuments. Okay, then you got the actual pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. All these different details that that are part of our captivity. You know, even the way people eat. You know, you want a Mediterranean breakfast, you want a Chinese lunch, you want a Greek dinner. That's a thing of Egypt. You know, where they had different styles of food, you know, that they had access to. But the point being that statement was correct. That was a blessing unto the nation of Esau. Okay, but let's see what the Most High said He's going to do unto them, though, because the scriptures do say what? He that leadeth into captivity shall goeth into captivity. All right, so we had our cup that we had to drink. We had to deal with that. We had to go through that, through all of the aspects that come to that, all the things that to this day still are a result of, including the pride of these Edomites. And now that's even being done away with too. All right, let's see what I want. There's Revelation 18:6. Matter of fact, 18:5. Matter of fact, start at verse 3, 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward, right? And with this place, the sins. Oof. Where do we start? Where do you even start at? All of the evil and the shit that this place has done. All right. And people wanted to suppress that comment because they wanted, deep down inside, they wanted it to not be true, but it's true. It's just true. Look, man. We're getting to the point, man, where you just might as well just say what it is, man. Boom. We're getting to the wire. I got time for that pity pat bullshit anymore. These Edomites know what they did. They know what they participated in. All right. You could be offended if you want to, but shit. Hey, rather deal with the truth and the enemy telling you the truth to your face than them pretending. It said, what? Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled to her double, exactly. And the cup that she filled was a whole bunch of foul shit. Okay, lashes on your back. You living in a fucking shack with no heating, no cooling. Oftentimes you got holes in it. You got multiple people in there. No access to health care. Completely inhumane fucking conditions which people had to live through. And the Lord, put us through because we did so much evil and wickedness. All right. And the thing that people are finding out about the Bible, man, it's every day it's more and more true. I mean, it was 100% true on the first day, but every day it's more and more true. Said what? How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. And that's exactly what they say in this country. Look, we know we did, slavery was bad, but, hey, that was then, this is now. So, you got to get over the shit. Look, we got away with it, and that's really it. And that's deep down inside, that's how most of these Edomites feel. All right, look, we got you right where we want you, and there's nothing you can do about it. God is for everybody. God is love. And then that's it. And you're supposed to take that, and you're supposed to be able to live by that message day and night. No, it's the reason why it's called the gospel, the good news, because just like it tells you 100 times, it's about the poor. And who's the poor? The Israelites. Excuse me. You got the poor is the Israelites. Who's the humble, the lowly, the meek? The Israelites. The people who've been put down. All right, and look, I looked up captivity in this Bible dictionary. It says the term captivity, when used of Israel, as reference not to the long series of oppressions and captivities of the Israelites by hostile peoples, beginning with the bondage in Egypt and ending with the domination of Rome, but to the captivity of the 10 tribes in 722 BC and the captivity of Judah in 586 BC. The practice of making wholesale deportations of people as a punishment for rebellion was introduced by Assyria, but other nations adopted it. Blah, blah, blah. And it's been many captivities, all right? And that's what the Lord did. He used us to build this place up. He used us to build up other nations. He used us to service them, all right? Since, we wouldn't be his servants, that we wouldn't serve correctly according to him, then he put us under them. And that's what it was, man. We were put under this man, in a certain position, and these people, they love it. They bask in it. Okay, you still got stuff that we built floating around everywhere. And that's not just so-called black people, that's so-called Native American, so-called Latino too. Because they had a lot of inventions as well, but their stuff gets put it doesn't get put under the spotlight as much, but they did also, contribute as well. All right, in a lot of cases, their contributions get swept under the umbrella of black anyway. And it says therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So whatever nation this is going to be burning. Basically, these other nations are going to see it. They're going to see the smoke of her burning. They're going to see it, and that's exactly what's going to happen to America. These other countries, just like the elders always talk about 9/11, how you could see the smoke from space. And I remember that. They showed it on the news. They showed the Google Earth view, and they showed you could see the smoke from space. Hey, a lot of these places you could actually see the light. There's so much light in the different cities, you could actually tell where the cities are based on the light. Right? When this destruction hits America, you're gonna see it's just gonna be smoke. It's gonna be darkness. Floating up. All right, and let's see what Esau used. They tried to use Salakia. That's not what I wanted. One of the things they tried to use, Salakia, if I can find that. I think it's Ephesians 6. Yeah, that's what I want. Ephesians 6 and 5. Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh, with fear and trembling and singleness of your heart as unto Yahushua. And this is talking about where you had people of your own nation who they were servants unto you. All right. That, of course, Esau took it and they put it into the context that as a slave, somebody who was getting beat down and being treated completely unrighteously, that you were supposed to enjoy your service and you were supposed to enjoy all that shit. And that's not what the scriptures were talking about. All right. And this once again, man, this whole theology thing when it comes to Edomite, when it comes to so-called white people, this whole theology is connected. All right. Because they attribute that God delivered us into their hands. And he did. All right. But now we're seeing the context and why that happened, though. That's the thing that a lot of them didn't know. Some of them did, but then many of them also didn't. But then the apostle was going into how the top scholars, they knew exactly who we are. They know, they know. And then, of course, you got Lecrae, which, we've kind of dealt with him before. Rapper Lecrae on his discomfort with hearing slavery described as a white blessing. Let's see what he says. Uh, when and what did he say? But we miss the blessing of slavery that it actually built up the framework. He said, so they miss it. They miss having you as a slave, man. They miss that. They miss being able to have access to you and your children and making you get up early in the fucking morning. You working for free, having, tattered rags on and shit. They miss that. Right? They miss that, man. I mean, when Juneteenth came around, which, I've never really celebrated Juneteenth like that because, you still have people who were slaves after that. But, a lot of these Edomites, they hate hearing, damn, Juneteenth, man. We should have never let them go. Ultimately, though, it was the Most High in that anyway. It says what? Later giving us mercy. It says what? Even with good intentions, it sounds way more benevolent and beneficial than privilege. What's more helpful is helping people understand what privilege is alluding to and how you are in the privilege because you do not have to think about race in the same way. And they don't want to think about race the same way. They want to keep that privilege going. They want to keep those benefits. And this is what our people don't understand. This is why it's so important to understand who Jacob is and who Esau is. All right, with two separate nations who will always be at war until the end, point blank period. And Jake doesn't want to think that way. They don't want to feel, but it is what it is. He says, and that's it on that, man. He's not really saying too much, not really saying a lot, you know. But hey, captivity and slavery, that's a part of the scriptures. Let's see, I'm gonna find one more turn on that. Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Right. Why do a lot of our people have a slave mentality? Which that word for a servant, that word is ibad, right? Which if you're a servant for Yahweh, that's one thing. Then you got a word for slave. What is it? Yala Yad. Okay, that means born. So that term there for a homeborn slave, that's Bayath Yala Yad. Born in a house, right? Homeborn. Yeah, why is he spoiled? Baz, spoiled, robbed. All right, because that mind of that slave, You got a lot of our people they're afraid to have a ruler class mentality, which if you look at rulers, you look at, even if you look at Esau, because they do have a ruler class mentality, they're not thinking about you before they make statements about this. No, they're just making out, they're talking about it behind the scenes. And then, he's considered a white Christian, the guy who made that comment. And then, they'll say, well, look, let's bring it out, They're not thinking about the feelings of black people, none of that shit, man. They're just bringing it out. Look, God put it on my spirit, to say these things that, slavery was a blessing. That's all. That's all he's thinking about. All right. Hey, call hello Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, but hey, this is what it means by that vibration going forth, because I'm willing to bet the dude probably has come across some of our videos or some of our ideals or something. And then he probably at some point agreed. And a lot of these so-called, these white plantation Christianities, these white plantation Christians, a lot of them agree with a lot of the stuff that we say. A lot of them actually do agree. You know, and they can see the truth in it. They can see the scriptures in it. And what you notice is when they speak, not a lot of scriptures come out and no prophecy comes out. All right. And that's the difference, man. That's the difference between somebody who can give you the full meal, the full truth, and somebody who's just talking. This scripture come out, this prophecy come out. Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, edifying, Shalom.